you just now. If you ever been that race against rage, then you became cause it's no man's land. Masters in heavy rain, ultimate fame. They shall slay, what they done is in vain. Counting AK-47, 24/7, but you got 11 persecuted by heaven. Comes with a direction, no indication. You got to let it move first, let it out, let it down, let it inside, let loose, let it in to press. Let's get it up. Then what you gonna do is drop the hammer down. Drop rhyme, drop hammer, take it like a labor. You got blood all over, ash all over. Spit it out, some game's over. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in. Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread. No soul, robust, be bust. Justice to the man with no life. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in. Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread. No soul, robust, be bust. Justice to the man with no life. Invisible hands are behind you just now. If you ever win that race against rage, then you became cause it's no man's land. Masters in heavy rain, ultimate fame. They shall slay, what they done is in vain. Counting AK-47, 24/7, but you got 11 persecuted by heaven. Comes with a direction, no.
Alright. No sound effect. Nothing. No main menu. We're playing Dig Dug on the Intellivision. What is this, Mattel? Or is that? No, yeah, this is Mattel, I think. Anyway, 1981 original Namco, I think. This is obviously the 87 version for the Intellivision. I'll be honest with you. This is probably going to be pretty bad. But I have played this before. Let me just go in, like, you know, blind right now. Chiptunes. Nothing but bee-ba-boops. Really pisses me off. What, is it supposed to be a dragon? Anyway, I had this on the NES a long time ago, and I think that kills you if you dig it down towards you. I think. So the whole point of this game is to, like, dig, obviously, and not get hit by any of these things. You can inflate them to, you know, weird Sonic-like proportions. If you know, you know. But it's like, that's all there is to it. This is a very old arcade original, I think. What we're gonna do is play every version that I feel is different enough to play. So I'm not going to be hitting up something like the Game Boy or maybe like a DS version. I'm going to just play anything that has Dig Dug in the name of and is originally Dig Dug. So not the sequel or anything like that. I couldn't turn back fast enough. I think we'll play like a couple of rounds, see how far I can get with like every one life or one continue. And the Intellivision is, you know, it was on the stream title and description, so we're gonna go with this one first. Other than that, I think we'll just go for the arcade next, and we'll go down the alphabetical list. So we'll go from arcade to Atari and, you know, suffer the horrible sounds of this game on Atari. There is one version for every Atari console, which I thought was interesting. So we might be checking out each one because they all look kind of different. You know, going from the 26 to 52 to 7800, they're all very different architectures, so I don't mind playing through them. But I think I'll leave the NES version for last. We'll play the Famicom disc version instead, because I see that there was one. And I don't think that's going to be any different, besides maybe having saves, I suppose. As opposed to, like, the Famicom original version. And as far as arcade, I think there's a US version. I think I'll be playing that. I don't want to use the Japan version, because I'm assuming that's going to be a little bit more difficult. And if not, then it is what it is. They look similar to me. They look exactly the same to me. There's a lot of yapping for not much going on. But yeah, this is the whole game. This is the plot right here. You dig. And then you dig some more. And then you inflate enemies like you're in some sort of like weird... Can I pause? Yeah, I can. How long have we been streaming for? 6 minutes? I probably can't say anything overtly, sexual. You know what I mean? Don't want the YouTube AI to, you know, give me less impressions or views or anything like that. But yeah, the whole point is to just dig and inflate. Which the last time I saw somebody being inflated was in a Sonic Flash game. Again, like I said, if you know, you know. Alright, we got fire blown into us. And I did say there was lore to this, and there is. I just wish I knew it. You'll see the main character in like promotional art and stuff like that. I think he has a name too. And there's like a reason why we dig to begin with. But I don't know it, so... Alright, get inflated. And it's like, do we get points for digging? Yeah, we do. Okay. I wasn't paying attention to that also. 7. That's a 7 stage. I didn't press the button fast enough. I'll have a go one more time. Now, the Intellivision is that one of those weird old consoles that has, like, the number pad. And I don't think anybody actually knows what the hell they're for. But I'm pretty sure different games had different control schemes. And I'm thinking of just the old Atari, but... You would have like little paper layouts you would put over the controller, and it would change the control basically. So the number pad would make sense then, because each number is a different control in a different game. So here, I don't know how that works. It just looks like a phone to me. Somebody made that comment before. It's like you're playing on a damn phone, and I just couldn't get it out of my mind. Either way, I know it's not the most exciting stream, but it's what I decided to play, so here we are. Really just gonna see how far I can get in each one. And if it's gonna be this easy, I might just do one continue per game. You know, as I keep inflating... Never mind. But yeah, this Intellivision is kind of like the Atari, like, you know, 2600. I would say more like the 5200. This is more simple, but it's not super detailed either, like the NES or the 7800. I mean, you know, it doesn't look that bad. You can tell what each thing is. Like, that's a dragon of sorts, like a little alligator thing. And you have the little guys here. You know, they're on the thumbnail cover. I think that they're pretty iconic. You know, if you've seen them. And he's gonna run away. Not on my watch. What is that? What the hell is this? What did I just pick up? That actually threw me off. So yeah, we kind of just go off of like one continue, because I don't think these games are going to be all that difficult. I think we might have about 30 minutes, probably, if not an hour, of content, depending on how ear-shattering the Atari versions are going to be, and how disgusted I get by that. He's too fast. I don't remember them running away. You know, I played this when I was a wee child, but you know. I don't remember a lot of things. Like how I never remembered I played, like, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game on the NES. I guess. Back in the day. Again? Well, if my attack can go over, you know, walls, then I guess the fire can. Alright, well. I got a new background. There we go. This is what I'm going to use for when I'm hiding the display. For, safety, Nintendo-esque reasons. Because I think those are the only ones that really give a shit. And we're like past 10 minutes, so, you know. That's usually the time frame they used to give. For years now, the AI or YouTube, the algorithm doesn't check for, like, you know, profanity and stuff like that. I think that's kind of the norm that most people go through. Anyway. So we're going to go look at... There we go. So I'm seeing Atari, and then I'm seeing Namco. I don't know what the difference is. I'll be honest with you. There's usually somebody, you know, knowledgeable in the comments sometimes helping me out with some of these, like, really, really, really old 80s stuff that I just don't know about myself, but somebody could tell me, like, what's the difference between, like, did Namco make this game, or did Atari make it? Oh my god, what am I looking at? Why is my screen bugged? Oh, the RAM and everything is setting up. Alright, give me a second. Because this is a vertical game, Jesus Christ. I hate how it's not automatic with my shaders. Alright. So yeah, this is also a vertical game. The last one we played was Contra, I think, yeah. It's literally me having to go in and manually rotate it. And I think that's fine. No, it's upside down. Alternate. There we go. Thankfully, it's only for arcade stuff, so I don't have to worry about it. How loud is this? I might just... Hold on. Restart it so you can see it. There you go. Alright, I'm going to up the volume. I don't know how loud this is going to be. Let's put in a credit. Yep, beep boop. I'm gonna up that 70. That should be fine. 74. You can hear that. 2 players. Let's run off those 4 credits, I guess. I already put them in, so. Jesus Christ, never mind. Back to 50. I'm assuming this is gonna be like, you know, one of those Super Mario Bros. Multiplayers. But yeah, look at this. So much more detail. This looks like the Dig Dug that I know. And there's no pause. So I'd probably be careful on what I'm doing. Also, Jesus Christ, this sound effect in my ear. But yeah, that's the enemies I recognize. They finally have more color to them. We're still inflating them like this is a Sonic fanfiction. Gotcha, bitch. Okay, I'm gonna lower that a little bit. Because it's actually killing me. Got him. A lot of weird sound effects. And this is the arcade, so I'm assuming there's some different stuff here to go by. Okay, I thought going lower was gonna have, like, different points, but I guess not. Oh, and you got stages. Look, we got 2 flowers for 2 stages. Or round. Yeah, round 3, you got 3 flowers. I didn't know that. Or at least I didn't notice that at first. Alright, well, this is nice, regardless. I know some people might have been like, well, might as well play without shaders so the screen's bigger, but I think this looks nice, regardless. Looks more authentic. we're not gonna make it. Unless he runs away. Yeah, he will. I could have made it so the arcade, like, cabinet look is, like, more slanted, you know? Because I've seen a lot of these that I've played here, and they're all, like, slanted slightly. Like, they're not straight in your face, flat. But, I think that also gives you less viewing room. But for the sake of, like, streaming and showcasing some of these games in our arcade, at least, it's much better to just do it like this, like, in your face. And then when it comes to vertical games like this, like, there's nothing I can do about making it bigger. But hey, you get a pretty looking shader background. I'm surprised I'm using the Final Burn Neo one and not the arcade, like, red that I think we've seen before. I'm gonna have to go look into that and just change it. Because I don't know if I like the yellow background or not. I like the dark red one. Really gives off like a dark neon arcade look to it. Whereas the yellow here just looks kind of weird to me. Gotcha. So we made it to round 8 or 7 on the Intellivision. So let's try to go for 9 here. Well, never mind. While I inflate my enemies. Man, I haven't seen, like, anything to do with inflation since, like, I guess years, you know? Since I would, like... Well, I wouldn't read the fanfics, but I would see them. Damn. I thought I could, you know, get a pixel on him or something. But I guess not. I'm just gonna wait for him to come back up. And there's, like, no music if I'm not walking, so... Okay. Yeah, we'll just wait for him to come back up. But yeah, the last time I've seen anything to do with inflation was, like, when I saw a Sonic fan game. Which is normal. It's what you'd expect from a Sonic thing. Are you kidding me? Alright, let's... Nice. Go for the world record now. Oh, it's the highest score in this whole cabinet. Nice. Can I put a name in? No? It didn't let me. Push and hold pump button, then press start. Did that take all my credits? I had 4 in there. Okay, whatever. Let's do this. Might just do 2 continues for each game version. Oh man, I just know the Atari version is going to be the worst thing in my entire life. I can already imagine these sound effects. They're already kind of grating, as they are. As opposed to when we played Contra or you know, Circus Charlie, like, this is really bad. Right now in my ear. And I'm guessing it has to do with the year and, like, the sound quality of the sound chip. Or whatever. Oh my god, I didn't mean to go left and right. So I'm actually kind of curious as to what the Atari 2600 is going to sound like. I know it's going to look like shit. But, is it going to sound like it too? Probably. You know, something I haven't really thought about is... Oh my god, he's on my ass. Something I haven't thought about is, are these, like, preset stages? Because I feel like I've seen this one already. Oh, great. I feel like the pump is also longer than this one. Also, yeah, I think we're recycling stages. It just feels like we're on the same place we've been before. But again, I could be wrong. Man, I hope you're tired of hearing all this, just as I am. Didn't we just do this stage? Well, no, the bottom's different, but the initial areas, I think I even did the same exact thing as I did before. What is that sound effect? Anyway, hey, we might even beat the high score again, you know? Yep. I know, not very interesting to the average viewer, but this is still pretty fun in its own right. I'm gonna let that one get away because I'm not gonna make it in time. Or he might just sit there. Never mind. Hey, might as well just get the high score again. You know, we might even get to stage round 10 at this rate. There was one right below him, or right in him, essentially. Well, that's not fair, is it? Alright, well. Back to the background you go. Get me out of this arcade and let's get on the Atari to suffer a little bit. Oh, God. Yeah, the 26 to 52 to 7800 all look kind of different. So let's see the evolution of Dig Dug on the damn Atari consoles. Ugh. I can't imagine being a kid and being happy that you got an Atari back in the 70s and 80s. It's like, where's my Famicom, dude? 1983. Oh my god, this looks like a game. Hey, it looks like Jabba. Never mind, he got inflated. Well, the Atari logo looks clean. Okay, there's only one button. Oh my god, this sound. It's like. It's okay. Movement's a little weird. It's still got the same like weird thing where you can't. Well, there's no music when you walk. Don't walk. I'm sorry. The music is the sound is so bad. It's making me dumb. What I was gonna say, it's like, oh my god. The arcade had a really grating sound as well, but it wasn't this bad. Like, it wasn't so high-pitched in my ear. I don't know if it makes any sense to anybody watching, but it's just bad. I don't even care about the graphics. Like, they're not even that bad, you know, considering the capabilities of the Atari. Like, it's always just the sound that I have an issue with these 2600 games. God. And it looks like kind of the same layout too, if you haven't noticed, for the maps. That's actually pretty cool. I'll give them that. You know, the Atari team did a decent. Never mind. Oh, you get 4 lives too. That's actually nicer than the Intellivision version. They knew you didn't want to spend so much time here, so they were generous with you. Oh, jeez. Movement's a little awkward. Like, I'm trying to turn, but it won't. You know, like right there, I'm trying to turn left and right. It's like I was going up that time. I don't know why it went left or right. But as far as movement, that's like an issue I've seen in like the other versions, so I'm not gonna knock the Atari for gameplay-wise mechanics. Beep 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 beep. And there's like literally only one button, so if I press pause, I'm sure the whole thing is gonna reset, so I'm not gonna do that. Ah, God. If the sounds weren't so like, I don't know what the word is to describe it. Like they're peeking through like this speaker or whatever. It sounds horrendous. Okay, those are rocks. They could have colored them in any dark shade, and I thought it was just random stuff on the map. Oh, great. Hey, they inflate a little bit faster. If anything, this version is probably the easiest one we've played. I forgot there's two of them in this goddamn stage. Every time, dude. I can't do anything against that, because there's two of them. There we go. They decided to unmerge. It's like, you know, watch this and tell me that it's not, like, hurting your ears. I know I turned it up quite a bit, but come on now. Why you gotta do this to me? Like, I can't be the only one suffering right now. Oh, no you don't. Gotcha. Yeah, you can inflate faster here too. It's a little bit easier to get the kill. Or, you know, the inflation on whatever. Somebody must have had an inflation fetish back in the 70s or 80s. That predates the Sonic fan base by about, I don't know, 20 years. I forgot there's two of you. Great. Get me out of the Atari 2600, please. Let's go up a couple of years. Maybe like, I don't even know when the 5200 came out. Somebody would have to tell me, because I don't know. But let's move up to the 5200. Let's see how it improved on the Dig Dug formula, which is not much, because it's the exact same game every time. I guess it's just fun seeing like the different ports, different versions. This is a year after. What the hell? I know you didn't get to see that, but... Oh, well, it says it anyway. 82, 83? Yeah, this was a year after, in 83. Surprising. Alright, round, you can change this? No, you cannot. What are my buttons? Well, round 2. No, that doesn't work. Start. This one has really low volume, but it actually looks really nice. This looks like what I'd imagine like an MSX version looking like, and we are going to play that too. This does feel really stiff though. I don't know if I like that. This feels slower and stiffer than... Great. Well, the faster I can get out of this, the better. Yeah, this feels really stiff. Like, gameplay-wise. I don't like this. Also, we look like a knockoff, like, Among Us caricature. I don't think I like that. But at least it's more similar to an arcade version than you would have gotten on the 2600. Like, so far, I'm not unhappy. Even the sound effects are a much better improvement to the 2600. But then again, anything is an improvement over that horrendous sound. Did I even change the... Just kill me. Yeah, I did. Alright, get inflated. And look, you have the flowers at the top denominating what level we're on. I don't think I noticed that on the 2600 or the Intellivision. But then again, I wasn't paying attention on the first version. So, here we are. But yeah, so far our best run has been on the arcade. If you want to factor in points as well as stage. I could do without that fire breathing sound effect. But yeah. Where's the stage? There's no pause here. I want to check my phone. Yeah, stage 5. Beep, beep, beep. You can still do it through the wall. Okay, well. 70... 7800, is it? Yeah, let's go for that. Get me off. It's such weird naming conventions, like Atari. There's a reason they fell off completely, horribly, disgustingly, you know? Let's just leave it at that. All right, let me put my phone down. This is 1984, a year later. Because apparently they released these consoles like back to back. Maybe they thought it was failing because of, I don't know, they needed a new one every year or something. Either way, not good. Let's see. Wow, this looks horrible. This looks like you're emulating something instead of, actually running a port. But it could just be me. This also feels really stiff, just like the 5200 version. This feels horrible. But hey, there's more detail. It's like, was Dig Dug such a big game that they had to lower the resolution or something? Like, I don't get it. I don't get what this design feature here is. That's what I mean. It's very clunky controls ever since the... Well, I mean, I don't know. 2600 controls were very, like, fluid, kinda? And every other version has got really rigid controls. Like, it feels hard to move in different directions. And it takes so long to inflate your enemies. Like, it's really bad. Like, that was me mashing as fast as I could. Yeah, you might be noticing that there's a pattern, like, every stage is the same. Which is fine. I would kind of expect that, so, I mean, we're learning now, I guess. Wow. What an asshole. What do I get for looking away? Not that I want to be on this version any longer, but... But the graphics on this look nicer. They just look like they're NES graphics, but a lot more scrunched up and... I don't know. Lower res, I guess. I mean, it is lower resolution. What a great achievement. What is this difficulty? Alright, well, time for a different intermission. Just give me a second. We'll get on with the next version after this.
You got to let it move first, let it out, let it down, let it inside, let loose, let it take to press. Let's get it up. Then what you gonna do is drop the hammer down. Drop, run, drop, hammer, take it like a labor. You got blood all over, ash all over. Spit it out, some game's over. Tear up the fear, the end is coming in. Spit it out like a spear, I'll burn the dread. No soul, robust, be bust, justice to the man with no life. Tear up the fear, the end is coming. dread. No soul, robust, gold, dusty, bust justice to the man with no life.
Ah, yes. The wonderful MSX. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna press a button on my keyboard. Is it just me or... Oh, this is the MSX. This is ColecoVision. Oh my god. Okay. Ew. First off. A numpad. Okay, well. Give me a second. Let me turn this up. It might jump scare me with the sound, but how do I... One player. That's not what I wanted. How do I open the... I paused it. Now, how do I open the keypad? How do I open the fuck... I don't know how to use this. You know, we'll just go with that. Whatever. Get ready, player 1. If it says player 2, then we're effed. Can you even hear that? There we go. I'm assuming you can hear that. Okay. This looks better than most of the versions we've played so far. I will give it that. It sounds really bad, but this plays really well, actually. It's a lot more responsive when it comes to the controls. Goodbye, little dragon. Wow. I thought this was the MSX for a second, but the ColecoVision is king right now. Who would have expected that? Not me. There's no... Never mind. There's no flower denomination for rounds. That's... not a deal breaker. This dragon is. So yeah, after this will come the MSX, I think, if we're going alphabetical love. He just had to stop at that exact moment. I don't know how you would open the thing. Oh my god, my ear on this one. Dig a tunnel, yeah. I'll give it one more shot, just because. Right. Do I have to watch this every time? Please stop. My ears. Oh, great. Oh, great, my controls. Oh, it's player 2. Oh, well, you know what that means. Next version. Oh god, that one specific sound effect I'm gonna end up with tinnitus after this if I haven't already got it from playing these games. Jesus. Alright, well, the MSX is very rough. You know, don't treat it too harshly. Graphics wise. There you go, 1983. These all came out in the same span of like 82, 84. But I will keep it in like 8-bit and below. Alright, Namcot. That's interesting, it's not Namco anymore, it's Namcot that made this port probably this time. Not Atari either. So it must have been Namco made it and then Atari kind of like published it in the US, I'm assuming, because this is also a Japanese version, so there's no Atari logo or branding anywhere. Not that I know of. You know? What's the space key again? Never mind. As you know, I'm not playing on an actual keyboard for now. We did have to do that, though, when I played Metal Gear. Because that game uses the function keys. And, you know, can't emulate that on a controller, and I'm too lazy to set up a button mapping for that. Sound effects are a little nasty to listen to. I'm gonna lower that. But otherwise, it's not too bad. Play area is tiny. MSX is chugging along, trying to do its best. And so far, so good. Now, I say that because you can tell it's kind of the same layout. It just looks a little weird. It's really, like, small. Gotcha. Got him with that sonic inflation fetish. So yeah, you know, they tried to fully port this. You can tell they tried with every version. Surprisingly, like I said so far, the 2600 and the ColecoVision have been the best versions I've played so far. Although this MSX one isn't that bad. It's actually really nice. You know, it's not super clunky to play, and it's not slow, and you know, the music could be better, but I could say that about every version. I'll see if the, like, NES or Famicom chiptunes get to me. It's under my eye. Alright. You might get away from me. Or not. Goodbye. Alright. No round denomination. It's just a word on the right side. That's fine. Different colors, though. This is a really nice concept here. So far, we've only seen, like, yellow, brown, and then light brown. You know, it's mimicking dirt. Which is fine. But a little variety in the stages would also be really nice. So this is fine. I don't mind this. So at this point, the 2600, the ColecoVision, and the MSX have been my favorite versions to go over right about now, and I do want to hydrate, but I'm afraid there's no, like, pause button in these games. It's like, not until we get to the... Well, the Intellivision had a pause. I'll give it that. And until we get to the Famicom, we're not going to have another pause button yet. Oh my god. I can't... He's outrunning me. I think we got like 4 lives. Or no, we got 3, I think. Oh, we did it. Maybe you get to round 8. A little bit higher than we have before. I hope that shattered your eardrum as it did to me. I forget that thing has a long range. I want to get to round 8. You know, round 10 would be nice, but I don't think that's feasible. Nice. I could have sworn there were collectibles. There was one, I think, in the arcade version. But I think that's a little too much to ask for some of these old consoles. So it might not be until the Famicom that we get to see that again. At least I think we saw a collectible in the arcade. Could have been in one of the Atari consoles, I don't remember. Even though it just happened like 20 minutes ago or less. Man, I'm getting really good at inflating some of these guys. And I don't think that's a good thing. Oh wow, we made it to round 10 on the MSX. There's a reason the MSX is so unheard of and underrated. Oh wow, you're really throwing them in there, huh? Damn. Hey, I forgot the rock actually goes right through the soil. Should have been using that. Great. Never mind. We're not doing that again. Awesome. Because why would you want me to have something? Okay, well that was Namcot's MSX version. That's fine. I actually quite like that. I'll put that at number 2. You know what? I'll put that at number 1. Put the 2600 at 3, and then... what else? The ColecoVision at 2. You know, we'll leave it at that for now. Let's see. No other version besides Nintendo. There wasn't any Genesis version. Because that was weird, but... I guess Sega never got the rights to Dig Dug. So let's end it with the Famicom Disk System. Which is the same as the Famicom, I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks exactly the same. It probably just has a save feature or something, just like Metroid did. Which I think was the only difference. There you go. 1984, probably. $1990. Wow, okay. Also made by Namcot. Alright, let's lock in. Both buttons do the same thing. I'm gonna lower this too because I'm getting a little headache with these sound effects. We also move faster. You know, I said it was a given that the NES version would have been the superior version, even to the arcade in my opinion. And the quality, it looks really nice. It's got that, you know, Famicom like art style. If that makes any sense. Yeah, we'll see how far we can get with the Famicom and then I'll end it, so. Let me just lock in until we get to round 8. I keep forgetting there's 2 of them in there. Okay, let's try that again. Don't ask me what I was going for, but I went for it. That felt like a whole modern strat that I did there. Also, the flowers are back, I just noticed. Don't even ask. Well, you know what? That was fun. Obviously, the Famicom version is going to be the better one. But we've gone over most of the direct ports to Dig Dug, and I gave you my thoughts. This was fun. I got nothing else to say. We kind of just already gave a review as we were playing, so it's not like I really have much to add. There's other versions, of course. Like there was the original Famicom, not this disk system version, which is kind of just the same exact thing anyway. But it's surprising. This was never ported to Sega consoles. I guess they had rights or something with Nintendo. And there was one version for the Sharp X68000, but I think that's more of a homebrew. Maybe I'll have to check. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to get to not record. I'll edit another Final Fantasy episode, and it'll be a stream. I'll stream the whole next mission that we get sent on, and I'll record from there. So hope that was enjoyable. Anyway, glad we lengthened stream time by playing a bunch of different versions. Something I always want to do, but sometimes come up short. It is what it is. But till next time, I suppose. Goodbye.